On, off, on, off, on. What up, TV girl? I'm putting you in a 10-minute timeout for trying to tell me what to do. Get out of here. That's why I feel so fucking on fleek. Because I don't have a metronome on to tell me that I'm not. Yep, you heard me here first, folks. Don't listen to me, don't listen to your friends, don't listen to yourself. Unless you're listening to the metronome first. What's up, Jackson? Yeah, normally, I mean, I didn't mean to, but like normally, I have the bell face it off. Kind of, this is where the mic is right now. I don't know if you see it. That's the head. It's like facing in the center of my bell now, where I normally would like have it kind of aimed outside of my bell. And I also changed some like compression settings. I think I brought it from like 2.5 to 1 ratio to 3. And then I also brought the output gain from like 11 to it might be like 6 now. I didn't even realize it was that loud, honestly, for that entire time. So that's probably what you're hearing too, as well as the mic positioning. Yeah, it's at 2 now, bro. I had it at 11. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, I fucked up, for sure, in the past. Yeah, good ear, bro. I also put on a noise gate. Yeah, thanks. How's the day been to you? That's cool. I like that. That is fairly class. I haven't heard that one before. Is that far from you? I don't even know where you're from originally, but yeah, Italy sounds dope, man. Is that like that'd be like an overseas thing for me. Is that local for you though, or like I don't know what like level of exotic that is for you? Sounds sweet though, bro. Actually, yeah, you're like what, 6 hours ahead of me, so you're probably into the EU, right? Island, nice, bro. I feel like you've told me that before, actually. That's my bad if you have and I forgot. That's cool, bro. Ireland's like north or something, right? How's the culture shift for you? How's the everything for you? And is this like a totally leisure thing you're doing, or are you also doing like work-related activities over there? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even ask what type of music you made. I just know you make like electronic music, right? And then I was like, nightlife, like dance music, or I don't know. I'm just like kind of I'm not really making any real statements. I'm just kind of like saying associative words. And I'm just trying to like put you in a box, pretty much, trying to understand you more. Not to like generalize you, but I'm imagining, I'm assuming, based off of what I know, you know, you're like, yeah, you like the nightlife because you make electronic music, which is generally a celebrated nighttime activity, right? Yeah, that does sound interesting either way, with pubs being so integrated into your culture. You guys treat them like Starbucks or something. They don't really value that over there in Italy. That is interesting. But yeah, everything I'm saying is an assumption, of course, so I won't be offended if, you know, I'm wrong, and please don't be offended that I am assuming things about you, so. That's what the preface is for, is to let you know that I'm aware that I'm a fucking idiot. Nice. Yeah. I mean, noise rock, I feel like electronic shit definitely enables that genre to thrive. Like the tools that are electronic based. But yeah, I definitely didn't get that impression based off of your synthesizer details. Like that's all I really know about you, man. Cause you like the mini fRick, and you're excited about the oscillators. Yeah, I'll have to hear. I want to hear more about your style and like your interests. Whenever you want. I don't mean to like fucking interview you or whatever, but yeah, it'd be cool to know more of where you're coming from. Electronic stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I see electronic. I mean, I guess like, yeah, generally electronic music in general, to me, at least how I see it, is like a nighttime activity, but I also look at electronic like I look at indie or folk, where it's really about like the culture more than it tries to describe the sound profile, you know, like the sound flavor. It's more about like the culture, or like it talks more about like the artists and their like fucking intentions, you know, or something, or like the tools they use more than like what they sound like or who they're inspired by. They're more of like, yeah, personality traits for music than flavor traits. But you can have like folk electronic or like indie folk or indie electronic as well, so. Yeah, I don't mean to like get like super defensive about the electronic shit. That is, you got me thinking right now. That is interesting. I'm like, what would be electronic music that is more daytime oriented? I'm trying to figure out now. Because all I can really think about is like concerts or dance clubs. And those generally happen in the evening, nighttime. Unless you're like, you're programming drones in the Tibetan or like Himalayan mountains or some shit. If I can get a cult of monks, get a mini fRick cult of monks up in the mountains or some shit, you know? Yo, that's sick, bro. That's nice. Yeah, you're like integrated in the scene, and you're like well versed in what you're interested in, though you don't have like an immediate portfolio or like releases that you could share right away. I hear you. I don't know. Yeah, what do I think about when I think about noise? Like probably like Aphex Twin, like some Aphex Twin stuff. I don't know. It's lightning bolt noise. I don't really know too much noise. I consider like 100 gex noise, but I don't think they're as much noise as they are hyperpop. You know. Is lightning bolt, or are they more like math rock? Lightning bolt noise. And then I know like freaking what is it called? Not grind, but that's like another genre that's noise adjacent, but it's more like metal. I forget what it's called. Oh, they are noise, it says. Can be noise in your opinion, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like noise. I just don't know too much about it, I guess. I never went down the rabbit hole for it. Wait. What is it? Can you read this? Robert Christgau coined the term pig fuck to describe Sonic Youth. Oh, I just listened to Sonic Youth for like the first time last summer. Are they noise? I've always seen them as very organized, like indie, maybe shoegaze or some shit. As in like the one time I listened to them. And I actually liked them more than I thought that I would. I liked them more than I thought that I would. Cause they're like one of the quintessential like t-shirt bands I'd see all the time. It's like Sonic Youth or fucking Fugazi or some shit. Fugazi or Nirvana, I don't know. Grunge? No, not grunge. What am I thinking of? I think the genre's called grind or whatever. There's a band that has the genre as its name. I'm trying to freaking remember them because I saw them live and they were fucking sick. They were so good. Oh yeah. Noise is interesting. Would you? I mean, like you said, you thought a lot of those other bands could be noise. Would you say noise is kind of like folk or indie, like in how I was describing, where it's more of like a philosophy or like culture than a sound profile? Like Sun Ra is an interesting. Isn't Sun Ra like jazz? Sun Ra is an interesting person to consider noise. Yeah, they're jazz. I might be thinking about grindcore, bro. I don't know. I can fucking look up the band that I saw, that I knew that they were playing with. Let's see. I don't know if you know the band Frail Body, but they're from my hometown, and I know all of them. I used to be good friends with half of them, but now I'm not. It's all good though. But yeah, I saw them in Portland, Oregon. I mean, if you know the band Meth, I also know Seb pretty well from Chicago. He's probably a more noise band than Frail Body is. Frail Body's more like scram, screamo. Yeah, they're like scram, screamo. Meth is probably more noise. I don't really care for Meth, but I would vouch for Frail Body any day, even if I'm not friends with him. Man, I don't remember what genre it is. And it was a while ago that I saw them. Yeah, Screamo's sick. Screamo, at least. I've never been a huge fan. I mean, like, I was a huge fan of, like, Attack Attack. I don't know if you know them. But that was in, like, middle school, right? And I was kind of interested in Oliver Sykes or Bring Me the Horizon, but that was in middle school, you know? So, I don't include them in my appreciation for Screamo, which is kind of like the general, you know, it's like the general interpretation is like that kind of Screamo, I feel. Maybe I'm out of the loop though, because I haven't really dug too much into the scene since high school or post high school, just like a couple years after high school. So I'm really rusty. Crapcore? Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Well said. That's funny. Or I can't fucking do it. Man. What is their name? It was so freaking long ago. I'm just like digging through the tagged posts here. But it was so freaking long ago. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. We're still in 2024, man. I'll put the scroll lock on. Hopefully it just like breezes past my peripherals. It starts with a G though, I'm pretty sure. It's like grind. But I don't think a band would name themselves Grind. Is like where my fucking skepticism starts. Is like it probably is something. It's more specific, like rhyme. I don't know. I didn't catch what you said before. Oops. So let me stop this. Oh yeah, I want to hear more about your fucking studio thing, dude. Is it like a house venue, or you guys got a dedicated spot that's not a home address? Never heard of Foxtails. I think I've heard of February. I think I liked February, actually. Like, from the one song I heard. I remember liking February a little bit. I could be wrong, though. A lot of the bands sound the same. Like, the names sound the same to me at this point. Is that what you're called? Fox or Mono Hazard? Or is it? Oh wait, what? Why did I look up Foxtails? Oh, Mono Hazard. Okay. Oh, nice, bro. Mono Hazard Studios. Is this you? A storage unit into a studio in your city? That's the one? Nice, bro. Nice, man. Yeah, I'm doing a similar thing. I don't know if you know, but that's really cool. Super cool. I'll have to follow you on the other account, because I don't want to follow people on my main. I'll get to it. Damn, that's sweet. A storage unit? What does that mean? Yeah, man. Wait, what do you mean by a storage unit, bro? Like, I think and I'm pretty sure it's not those like, containers, right? Like the metal containers? Let's see. Alright, I'll follow you on... I got you that follow here. On my, my business, pretty much. If you call that a business, I don't know. Yours looks more like official than ours, but ours is just kind of getting our feet off the ground, but yeah, following you on our business page. Alright, I'm gonna keep scrolling here, then I'll check out one of your videos and after I get that. Oh, my brain. Scrolling way too fast for me. Oh, what is that called? A fucking Kadashery or something? Kadashery? Haberdashery? Isn't that what a button factory is called? I learned that recently. I think. What is it? Haberdashery? Haberdashery. Oh wait, yeah, men's clothing. What is the meaning of a haberdashery? Oh wait, what? So what's the button one called? I know this isn't relevant. I'm so hold on. Button store. I just like quizzing myself, I guess. Button store called. Man, but what? Excuse me. Oh, it is called a haberdashery. Haberdashers. Oh, interesting. I don't know if you or yeah. What the? Store that sells buttons along with other sewing supplies. It's called a haberdashery. The more you know, the more you know. Oh, I pressed back. This guy bought out the building years ago, then started renting it out to people for storage. Yeah, haberdashery, bro. I think it was either a button or a shoe factory or something after World War I. That's a baller repurpose, brother. Freaking make those, give those freaking the slave children's spirits some show to, you know, look forward to every week if you can, every month or so. I'm sure they get pretty lonely over there after dying at the age of 12 for dehydration and, you know, lack of sleep. Ah. Oh wait, I think the band was Null, so that's not actually. I was actually wrong. But no, I'm pretty sure the band I was thinking of is Grind. It is Grind. Yeah, Grind. Okay, the word was actually Null. I mean, Grind. Sorry. Damn, they got 31K followers now. That's insane. I saw them when they were like 1,000 or less followers, bro. That's insane. They were really good though. I fucking love them, and it was actually insane because their bassist was only, I think they just turned 18 at the time. They were playing at a bar in Portland. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy for them. 31K, wow. They've been growing. Haberdashery, you think haberdashery would be a good name for a band, bro? I don't know about that, man. But yeah, you should take it, dude. You should take it if you like it. Yeah, so I can play, you know, after all that fucking investigation, I can try to play what they sound like. They're definitely more like screamy than like electronic noise though. Let's see. I'll bring up the stream volume for this. What? Yeah. Damn, that's insane. Yeah, that's us. Our house. We used to be called Revival House when we did house shows at Dan's mommy's basement in high school. And that was, Our last show was in like August 2014. And then we started doing shows again October 2025. I still got a fucking I got like 12 different sets I still need to produce. Like I still need to make YouTube videos for, and I need to mix, engineer all of the audio for. Yeah, because we have a show in like 10 days. I said I'd do most of it by then, so I've got like so much on my plate, man. But I'm not really too concerned about the speed or anything. It's just like we have run into some problems that have been giving me anxiety, and I've just been doing the normal thing where I just avoid it. And it's like, it might be to our benefit, because I'm getting stronger in audio production, but the thing that happened is some of our bass tracks freaking disappeared, and that shit stresses me out, because I want to do the best that I can for every band, and I feel bad, like, returning them a recording of a set without a fucking person in it, without a whole ass person in it. I feel awful. So I was like, a good 3 months of it was just me looking away. And then next month or so was me trying to actually figure out what I could do. And then I've done 4 hours since then on one set. And then 2 of those hours were just trying to recover bass from the other tracks. And I generally use the drum overheads because those are the most consistent. Yeah. I'll be doing a lot of that too on stream. Definitely tonight, and as the days go on, I'll be touching a little bit of everything, and because one of my biggest, things that goes alongside with my philosophy in general, like as you see here, with my tromboning, is I want to make a lot of the mysterious magic that goes on behind the scenes less mystified and more accessible for anyone who just wants to learn and to see what someone with a lot of experience would do when it comes to like learning an instrument or writing songs or producing music. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I do what I do. So yeah, I'll be and I have streamed pretty much the last 4 hours of my Our House Productions mixing, and I'll do more tonight for sure. And then now that I'm like kind of more comfortable approaching these sets without whatever you call it, like a good control, a good grasp of all the variables that I would prefer to have, like the bass track, I have no doubt that it should be a breeze. I did the first 2 sets in like fucking 2 or 3 hours max. So, yeah. Under the best conditions, I work really fast, and then otherwise I kind of psych myself out. Definitely, Charles. Yeah, that'd be sweet, bro. I don't want to offer Dan's crib, but I'm sure he could offer you a place to crash to, even though he's probably got like a family. He's probably have a family by then. So actually, I don't know, because he just got married and he's about to have a kid. So maybe not. But otherwise, we're all DIY. We're all like do it yourself. So crashing over at people's crib is part of our culture, as I'm sure you're aware. Basically just starting out yourselves as well, to be fair, since last summer. Fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, we're both babies in this, and you guys, based off of what I see from your timeline, it looks like you guys have good quality visuals. And I think any like quality audio should be fine. I'm not one to like put my standards on other people. But I have ridiculous standards for myself, Oh, J Maskus. That's like, I'm not a gearhead at all, but that's like the only guitar that I can recognize because I used to have one. Or like a fucking Epiphone Joe Pass. What is this? Oh, you can't even see where I'm at, my bad. Where's the audio? Nice, bro. Sounds great. Nice. So this is more. Yeah, this is noise. Okay. This is noisy. Yeah, I grew up with a huge I sorry for yelling all the time too. My headphones are so loud. But yeah, I grew up with a huge, or I grew up more so, yeah, with a huge influence in, you know, emo, screamo, scrams, Midwest emo, and math rock. And my town's like, you know, I'm from Rockford, Illinois, so we're like Midwest emo at heart. And we've produced a good amount of, well, we've produced Joie de Vivre. That's like the only, that's pretty much like the only big emo band we have within like maybe 100-mile radius. And then Frail Body now, you know, Frail Body blew up recently. But yeah, we had a bunch of like people. We were like hella connected to the Chicago math rock emo scene when we were doing our shit back then. So yeah, we made a good name for ourselves, and then we're pretty much doing the same thing now, as well. And we're doing it all for free too. Like private services or whatever. We will treat that more like a service, like a charge service. But everything else, I want to do it for the community, you know. So I'm offering everything for free for the community. And it also gives me more experience as well. Damn, only 2 bands, bro? That sucks. How far is Ireland from the UK? Isn't UK like an island or some shit? But it sounds like you guys got good fucking underground culture with these bands playing right now. Oh wait, Ireland's also a fucking island? Is that why it's called Ireland? Yo, I live in a closet, bro. Is Ireland is the second largest island of the British Isles? Bro, I live in a dungeon. I like these guys, whatever's going on here. The guy doing that guy. While homies are like yelling, he's going. This is pretty cool. Mark and Luke, is that their band name? That's funny. No Ko says, no Iron Maiden tune. Thank you for asking. Are you? Oh, like as a math rock scene? You're tiny? You know about like, or you know about the math rock times? I'm pretty sure they're questionable in their like ethics, from what I've heard. Aren't they from the UK? And then I just saw that they had a 10-year anniversary festival or some shiz. But they probably have more people flying in than like playing at home base. You're talking about general population, but also, yeah. Oh, like the amount of people in the island? Interesting. Yeah, your audio quality sounds better than I thought it would. Probably better than ours, than my audio quality right now. Cool. What did you say you did for the dudes? Is it you and just another guy? Or you guys got a team going on? You run a music studio where you would host live sessions on YouTube? That's sweet. Yeah, we do our live sessions on Facebook until we qualify for live. So yeah, as you can imagine, I'm doing all of that shit. I'm doing all like the digital shit, like streaming or whatever, and then we both do booking, and then Dan does all the physical live sound, and he owns the place too. You know, he's like the literal heart. If he fucking goes down, then there's no revival house. Nice, bro. We're like the same person, man. I mean, we're like a, you know. Oh wait, we are like the same person. Cause you do the mixing and editing, bro. Oh, he does video, then recording setup. Nice, man. dude, we're like the same person, bro. And we have like the same, business idea. Not idea, but I mean, like, kind of, actually, yeah. We were representing the same culture and the same mission and shit, for the most part. I don't know if you do this shit for free. I'm not here to judge or whatever. I think everybody deserves their money. Yeah, bro. Yeah, for me, I'm just kind of, I'm just weird about asking people for money. But, if I don't want to do something, then I will definitely charge. But I think it's more because I really enjoy what I do, and I feel like I've always taken always taken the artistic lens to whatever it's called, creation. But it's only because I've been self-serving. So now that I'm trying to serve other people and like I'm living in my parents' basement, I'm trying to like understand more about what it is to, what do you call it, like represent, or like to not really fight for myself, but kind of that, or to vouch for myself, to like, to live, to, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I'm still in that weird phase where it's hard to stand up for myself on fiscal means and like ask for my value. But a lot of it's just because too, I know that a lot of people don't have money. So I don't know, it's fucking weird out here. Nice, you do it all for free too. Word. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that once you guys get your feet established, especially with what you're saying, with how small the scene seems to be, your value will be apparent. That there will be more clients that come through, and they want the best service possible, so they'll come to you guys, and then hopefully they will pay you what you're worth. Same with us. In my town, there's literally jack shit. So like, we literally already have the monopoly, except I'm kind of not doing the best job at upholding all that by because I'm just fucking playing trombone and doing everything else all day instead of actually working on the business. So, but yeah, I've learned so much, bro, in the last 4 months that I'm happy that on one hand that I did wait this long, but I am also really guilty because I told Guy that I would have shit done that weekend. That's like 5 weekends ago, bro. Or 5 months ago. What up, Bookish babe? How you doing? Yeah, I gotta do my slurs, and then I don't know. I'm trying to leave this next week pretty open from day 21 to day 27, because I'm trying to avoid the set that I've been practicing for 20 days straight in a row, just so I can revisit it with more emotional clarity. And then I've also just been wanting to get back onto Spotify with how everything is going on in the world. I want to help somehow, and I feel like the best way that I can help would be through music. And I took my music off of digital storage because, for obvious reasons, like a lot of them are shady as hell. But that is like what a lot of people use. So I'm kind of making it hard for my art to be there for people if they want to listen to my art, and I'm kind of hurting myself as a small artist by not giving myself the opportunity to grow. So that's really, I think that's what I want to focus on this week, unless there's just like another project that I want to do, like Ebb Tide, which is one of the trombone songs that I've been hoping to do soon. And I want that to be my first trombone quartet video. So if not, my own music, then I'll probably do that, or some other shiz. Like maybe one other thing that I can't think of right now. Yeah, honestly, Sam learned more in a year than any time in any music course you're part of when you were younger. For sure. Yeah, I think there's a lot, for like my experience, I think there's a lot, there's a lot of freaking missing context. But I generally do agree with you. But I also don't think I was as much of a motivated self-learner back then, personally. I didn't really value the technical parts at all, really, or anything, like learning or production, especially, or like, yeah, and then that's pretty much all of it. So, and then I also just didn't have as many good resources that would enable me to trial and error as much as I have in the past, even though I did a lot in the past. I'm not gonna lie. And then I also just, and it's interesting too, because like there's like peaks and valleys or whatever, and like initially when you're starting out and you're younger, or it depends on if you do learn these lessons. Like one of the bigger lessons I have in my life is like intimidation is going to be the biggest hurdle, and it'll be like the more it'd be like the largest variable that will get in the way of you reaching a new peak is more the intimidation than the work in itself, is all I'm trying to say. So like now that I've overcome my own self inhibitions and like hurdles, I'm able to receive information a lot more fluid than I have in the past. But I also just have built myself up, and I'm sure you get it too, like where I don't really have to think about all the intimidating gray area, because all the gray area has been charted in my mind. Like all the gray area has been discovered to a point of certainty where I'm able to like receive other freaking caverns or like detours on this journey towards another peak. And I'm able to take shortcuts because I'm just like well traversed in this discipline. So, but yeah, in the last 4 months, all that to say is the last 5-6 months, I've fucking grown a lot in audio production, and in the last 2 years, I've grown the most than I've ever grown in the last 10 years. With all that said and done, I do agree with you. I think there's a lot, that is behind that, and I still don't think I've covered it all. I think there's a lot of reasons. For my journey, at least, I don't know your story. I don't mean to claim your story or speak for your story, but yeah, cheers, bro. Dude, yeah, I mean, you're in this culture just as much as I am, apparently. Like, we should get into, or I want to get into, now that I'm talking to you, we should get into like interviews and shit, right? And where we can, or like podcasting type vibes where we can get more intimate with other people's trajectories, their own lessons, their own philosophies, and like lived experiences. And just like have that be a fucking place, a reference point for anyone, especially the DIY enthusiast, to visit. I think that'd be really cool, and I would love to just talk to you in general and hear more about your side of everything, of your side of life, because of the Atlantic. That's funny. That's a fun thing to say. Your side of the Atlantic, Charles. So yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to say. I think that'd be cool to hear more from you, bro. Yeah, wouldn't that be sick, man? That's cool. I'm happy you can relate to that. Yeah, I try to say it in a way that honors, maturity, like just being deeper in the path than where we were in the beginning. But yeah, the biggest thing that I was kind of unsure of if it would connect with you would be the intimidating factor. But yeah, I'm happy that you relate with all of it, if not, or like most of it, if not all of it, bro. Oops. 3,000 miles. Is that how many? That actually doesn't seem like a lot. 3,000 miles, bro. I mean, I know it's a lot. I can barely walk 1 mile. But yeah, 3,000 actually doesn't seem a lot. It's probably more of like the freaking body of water. That is, that's like, oh shit, maybe I gotta think more about how to bridge that gap. But yeah, bro, it's cool we have the internet. If not you, then I mean, definitely me and Dan. Like, I'll talk to Dan, but like, if not you, who does it first? Then I'll do it with Dan, and we could start a podcast. And then y'all will definitely be one of the first people that I would pitch to, try to have a cool podcast discussion episode with. Excuse me. I think that'd be really sick, bro. I think that'd be really cool. And it's nice to not be in a fucking vacuum and to like bridge communities together if we can. Word. Yeah, what is that even? Like kilometers to miles? Oh, 1.609 to 1 mile. So 1 mile is more than 1 kilometer. Oh. You run a radio show? That's sweet. Like you have your own transmission number thing? Or are you on like what is it, like Sirius XM or something? I don't know how radio shows work. But yeah, that sounds like you have all the experience one could ever ask for like a podcast, like what we're trying to do, you know? What does that mean? Like for me, it's like, does that mean that anyone can have a transmission if you have the equipment? Or like, I assumed you had to go through like a legal process to have the rights to a certain number, right? So like, what would that guy even do with your transmitter? Unless you really are able to just take a station to yourself. That sucks, dude. What the hell? So, are you saying like you would have a dedicated transmission, but you don't have the tool to access it? So you just do like the internet now? Man, I'm sorry to hear. Why would anyone ever want a transmitter? What the hell? That's crazy. Oh, a pirate station. Does that mean you like hijacked it? And then how do you like organize with the other people? Do you just claim spots? That's cool that you had it for a bit, but yeah, that sucks that you got robbed, bro. Are they fucking broadcasting? Would you be able to tell who it was? Oh man, that sucks, man. That sucks. I bet those things are not easy to come by. Unless you just happen to be that junkie. Unfortunately. What was your station about? Ah. Lip slurs get tough in the lower positions, I swear to God. They get a lot tougher, like 0.25% tough, or 25% tougher. They get tougher at a rate of 0.25x. station now, or wasn't your station now, but we just got started doing a show last year on there, because they're neighbors to the studio. On there last year, because they're neighbors to the studio, chatting and playing with local Irish bands. We thought we're cool. Oh, hell yeah. That's like a good community service. It's still online though. I think that transmitter just got robbed last week. Sheesh. So not all hope is lost. The wound's just fresh. I see. Yeah, hopefully you get it back. Or hopefully the guy feels like an ass, or he probably won't, but you know. What can I do but offer a little bit more hope and optimism in these trying times, you know, Charles? You know what I mean? Just fucking blind faith it through, bro. Alright, that's good slurs. You can only assume that was very expensive. Yeah. Oh, sure. I'm not even trying to look that up too, like, you know. I'm not even gonna try to look that up right now, even though I really want to. I'm gonna fight the urge to look that up. Oh wow, I've been recording all of this on Ableton. Oh yeah, what is your rig like? Like right now, I'm using our rig for the stream and my drum mics. We got a Behringer X-Air 18, so we have 18 inputs. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mics. And then 9 if I use this as a room mic or this as a room mic. I'd have 10. So I have 8 on the kit, and then we like go through DI through this thing, and then run that onto this computer. This is Dan's computer that I'm using. I don't know if you knew that. It's my buddy's computer, and yeah, we have Ableton. And I've had this computer. I've been holding on to this computer for like a month and a half or something now, and it's gone from maybe 15 VSTs, 15 plugins on Ableton to literally like 2,000, bro. In the time that I had my hands on it, it's pretty awesome. So this next up and coming show will be the first one where I'm like super comfortable on the computer, and I have probably optimized, or like you know, I'm still optimizing. I don't know like what's possible in a live setting situation, you know, because the main thing I want to manage is latency. So like if you go to our Facebook, the audio quality for all the shows fucking suck ass, because well, one, I can't really hear. I cannot hear the audio until it's done being recorded. So all the adjustments I'm making are post the band. But even then, it's like I'm using really shitty headphones, and so I've like I've like completely reduced my standards to a 0 when it comes to the live stream. Just because of it's really hard to manage, and I also don't know like the best settings for everything, or like what, you know, so I'm still figuring that part out. But yeah, well, what's your setup like? That's pretty much my setup. Is I would use like Reaper plugins or Melda, like some free shit like Nova TDR, I think is what it's called, or eventually I installed FabFilter on here because FabFilter is pretty light on the CPU. So we can manage it. Oh, I see your message. I don't know why I blocked it. Yeah, we got the SE electronics. What is SE? V drum mic kit, you believe. 16 inputs. Oh, is that the interface SE electronics? Nice, 16 inputs, bro. Hell yeah. Oh, through Audient Evo 16. Ableton Horse, nice. Yeah, I eventually want to switch to Reaper, but yeah, I've got so many things on my to-do list. I can't afford to fucking migrate all of my shit yet. But I eventually want to be a Reaper guy, a Reaper daddy. I think Reaper's where it's at. For the most part. I can't think of like a single advantage besides maybe stem separation that Ableton might have, even though FL's still like superior on those terms, in my opinion. At least when you're using the quick separate mode or separation mode, because I've never used the best quality mode because that'll take me 3 hours for 2 minutes. So I mean, it already loses with that detail element, honestly. I can't think of a single advantage. Like maybe like the tools on Max for Live would be better, or like I don't use. The thing is, I also don't use MIDI too much, and I'm not. I don't really understand how to loop either with the session view or whatever the fuck this is. I'm still interested in learning. I haven't really started learning how to do these loops though. You know what I'm trying to say. So I can't speak too much on the MIDI electronic parts for Ableton, but especially for like live recording, I think I want to be a Reaper daddy, because Reaper is open sourced in nature, and it's probably like the most accessible DAW for Windows because of its freaking free trial that never ends, pretty much, and it's open source, so it's kind of like Max for Live where people can make their own devices, but I don't have a lot of experience for Reaper, so I don't know how sophisticated those can get. So it might be like a grass is greener on the other side situation for me. I don't actually know what's going on. I have no idea why I turned off the drone. I need that for these scales. Frankenstein together, but sure that's half the fun all the same. Yeah, it's definitely fun thinking of some creative solutions to problems, no doubt. And to like maximize my poor ass budget. Like all of this gear is Dan's, you know, I'm just like, my job is to figure out how to best use all of the gear and to do it. Oh yeah, the video stuff is really laggy. Is that what you're saying? That's like that's like the only experience that I have with the video stuff is that it's super laggy. But I haven't tried exporting a video on Ableton or like gotten really deep in that. You think they're horrible, bro? I like the Reaper plugins. Like I would recommend them. I mean, if someone had $0. But I think of course there are better options. I use Restream every day though for how I get the Ableton audio, especially onto my stream into OBS. I use Restream, which is probably the only. Or there's like one other plugin. It's like TalkBack or some shit. I forgot what it's called, but this is the only software, only VST that is able to relay my master track audio to OBS without any latency. I couldn't find anything else for it. What up, AC? No, I'm not. I don't know if you're able to read the room, dude. I'm not doing anything like that right now. Yeah, I don't know too much about the video game design. That's cool. I've never heard of that. It surprises me, but I'll take it. I'll take it and run. But yeah, yeah, it's a power horse, dude. like if I was a coder, if I knew what I was doing on that level, I would definitely be a Reaper boy. I would definitely be a Reaper boy, Reaper baby, if I knew how to like truly like fine tune it to my own preferences. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm mainly on Ableton. Like I've used, like I started on Sony Acid, which doesn't even exist anymore, I don't think, unless it does. And then I used that for like 5 years, and then I used Reaper for like 1 year, and then I used FL Studio, and then yeah, Ableton. And then I've just been using Ableton for like the last maybe 10 years or so. But Reaper just looks like an old person software to me. Like it just looks so clunky and it looks so unfriendly, especially to and like a new person. But from what I've heard and what I've seen, I feel like it has the most potential. Like you can go the deepest with it. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I know how to use Ableton. All I really need to know is like the fundamentals for music production, and then I can use any equalizer, I can use any compressor, I can use any software, you know? So it doesn't really matter after a certain point, unless you're a fucking like a mole, you know, and you just dig as deep as you want with sound design. Like Bitwig Studio, I feel like that'd be more up your alley. Because you use your mini fRick more than it would be mine, because I don't experiment with sound design to that level. But you know, Bitwig is like, pretty sure Bitwig is a branch off of Ableton. The people who made Bitwig used to work for Ableton or some shit like that, and then they went their own direction, and then now they have one of the deepest, I'm pretty sure it's node-based audio processing softwares, digital audio workstations softwares in the market. Like Bitwig is the deepest for sound design or some shit. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, Bitwig that's like the talk of the town, I feel. For like, I don't know, yeah, I've only seen it in passing, and then I looked into it trying to figure out if I should try it out, but it seems more of like a sound designer's playhouse than someone that is more like analog like me. That like more than, like, I don't think I would get as much use out of that than I would with Ableton. You should look it up and let me know what you think, because I could be wrong. Bitwig. And then fucking Studio One. That Studio One might be the branch off of Ableton as well. I don't know. ProSonus Studio One is also just like another option, but I think the pro to that is like it has less errors or some shit, or I don't remember, man. I was only looking into it like a month ago too, or 2 months ago. But a lot of people vouch for Studio One that used to use Ableton. I forget why. I don't know why. It's here. I could play a thing. I would not say it's traditional, from what I know about it. But I can play as a thing while I'm working on my scales, because I am also curious. On another level. This is a minute. Let's see. Ultimate dollar view. Worth upgrading. Features that will blow your mind. Game changer. Guitar recording. I want like a good 5-minute video. I'm looking for a good... Learn bit while using step record. No. I'm leaving Ableton for Bitwig. Moving to 8 hours? Oh, it's a stream. I see. Man, over Bitwig 6 versus Ableton. 5 minutes. Okay, that's perfect. It's perfect. So it's gonna go back because that's how I lock the zoom. And then I'll bring down the volume of my drone. I don't even hear this, bitch.
TEEJYS Studio and
sorry. Alright, I hear him now. Bring it up for you on the stream. And then I'm gonna take a step back and do my scales while we watch this.
Ableton Live to help you decide which is better for your music production workflow in 2025. Let's start with Ableton Live. Ableton Live has been a giant in the industry for years, especially loved by electronic musicians, DJs, and live performers. Its standout feature is its dual workflow: the arrangement view for traditional timeline editing, and the session view for clip launching and real-time improvisation. If you like building tracks with loops, triggering samples live, or experimenting with arrangements on the fly, Ableton nails it. In 2025, Live 12 brings even more tools for creativity: improved MIDI transformations, deeper MPE support, advanced automation shapes, and smarter browser organization. It also integrates tightly with Ableton Push, turning the digital audio workstation into a full hands-on instrument. For performance-driven producers, Ableton still feels unmatched. Now, let's move over to Bitwig Studio. Bitwig might be younger than Ableton, but it has built a reputation for extreme flexibility, modular sound design, and forward-thinking features. Its workflow is similar to Ableton's in some ways, offering a clip launcher alongside a traditional arrangement timeline, but it pushes deeper into modular synthesis and sound shaping. The heart of Bitwig's uniqueness lies in its modulation system. You can add modulators to any parameter, LFOs, envelopes, step sequencers, and get incredibly creative without third-party tools. It also includes the Grid, Bitwig's built-in modular sound design environment, letting you literally build your own synths and effects from scratch. Bitwig also gets praised for its cross-platform approach. It runs seamlessly on macOS, Windows, and Linux, and its frequent updates with experimental features like node operators, comping, and hybrid tracks. So, how do they feel to work in? Ableton Live feels refined, clean, and performance-ready. You can jump in, sketch ideas quickly, and take them straight to the stage. It's incredibly stable for live sets and has a huge library of third-party packs and Macs for live devices. Bitwig feels like a sound designer's playground. It's more experimental, more customizable, and allows for deeper routing, modulation, and hybrid workflows. It's perfect if you like tinkering with sounds and building unique instruments. Now let's talk pricing. Bitwig Studio in 2025 comes in 3 editions. Essentials, €99, or about $109. This includes all the core features, 10 modulators, and a starter set of instruments and effects. Producer, €199, or about $219. This version adds more instruments, more effects, and expands modulation to 18 modulators. Full Bitwig Studio, €399, or about $439. This is the complete package with 154 instruments and effects, 42 modulators, the full sound library, and access to the Grid modular environment. Ableton Live also has 3 main editions. Intro, $99, a limited but capable starter version.
No, hold on.
Standard.
We don't care about that. Well, I don't care about that shit. I did not think it'd be the rest of the video, but it looked like the pricing part was the rest of the video. Why I prefer Bitwig to Ableton. It's a 10-minute video. Maybe you don't want to watch all of it. I'll try to, you know, set a good
Okay,
pace.
so this is not gonna be a...
Ow! My ears! Is that what I sound like? Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you would... I mean, I think it's, like, built for people like you. Like, people like you, bro.
Okay, so this
Like,
is
if
not
I-
gonna be a
if I had
video
all the time
about
in
why
the world, bro,
Bitwig
I
is
would
better than
definitely be
Ableton.
on
I think
Bitwig
that's a bit of a
as
stupid
well.
question to ask.
But I knew
But
that
it's
that was...
gonna be an explanation of
I
why.
knew that it'd be a bad investment for me because of all of the shit I have to get done. But like, if I had all the time, bro, it looks really fun.
Start with the obvious one. The Bitwig modulation system is much nicer than the Ableton one. You can modulate everything with Ableton,
Sorry.
but it's a little buggy sometimes. It breaks a lot. It takes a lot of CPU. There are a lot of less options, especially when it comes to sidechaining parameters. Like you can sidechain with envelope followers in Bitwig from every channel to every channel very easily. It's very stable. It's integrated perfectly, and it just feels a lot more thought out than the way it's done in Ableton. And the possibilities therefore might technically be the same, but practically Bitwig is far ahead of Ableton in this way.
Yeah, I love modulation. I
Audio
love
events.
notes,
So
bro.
basically you can edit audio files separately from audio clips in Ableton. The way Ableton does it, you have one audio clip, that's one audio file, you can't move things around in that clip, you can't have multiple things in one clip. In Bitwig, an audio clip is just a container, while the audio files inside it are more like MIDI notes in a MIDI clip. So you can move things around, you can cut things up, you can warp them separately. You gain a lot of flexibility like this, especially when working in the clip launcher, where in Ableton you can't really edit audio all that much. In Bitwig you can do pretty much everything there. Sends in groups. Now this is something I personally find very useful just for organization of projects and so on. You can put reverb sends or any kind of convolution sends inside a group. I often put envelope followers with noise inside a group, just inside the base group to layer some stuff, or you can put MIDI triggered samples inside a group.
What'd you say? Before I read this, I wanted to pause that. Sorry. You should definitely look into the Micro Mini Freak if you're in any way into synths. Then it has a really cool mod matrix where you can map anything to anything. That sounds sweet. I will. Yeah, I will. In due time. In due time.
On a send, audio triggered samples. You can do a lot of stuff this way that you can then bus process inside the group, and this allows for a lot of sound design possibilities you would have to do in Ableton in racks, which is a lot less clean visually than just using sends in groups, and it just makes sense. Basically the master track in Bitwig is just another group, and every group is just another master track, and they kind of work exactly the same way. The grid. Now, the obvious comparison here is Max for Live, which I think is a lot more powerful than the grid, but also a big pain in the ass to learn, and it takes ages. I've seen a lot of people just disappear from making music because they started learning Max, and it's so complicated that it basically takes all your attention. The grid is a lot simpler. It still allows you to do a lot of stuff, but it's simple enough that it just fits inside the production workflow. You don't really lose that much time having to look something up. It's all very elegant and straightforward. So this is a great compromise between something like Reactor or Max and just the ordinary composition workflow. Pinning MIDI is something I personally find very useful. You can just pin MIDI clips if you're in track view, and then you can basically always see your bass lines or always see your chord progressions. You can lock them so you can't edit them. Whenever you add new MIDI tracks, your MIDI will be there. This is a simple feature, but I like it a lot. It helps me. Bounce and bounce in place. Now in Ableton you've got freeze and flatten, bounce in place, FX containers. Ableton basically just has the audio effects racks, and you can build stereo splits, you can build band splits, but these are just standard containers in Bitwig, and they work a lot more cleanly, are a lot nicer UI wise. And you've also got containers that you can't really get in Ableton, like the spectral devices that split using an FFT. So you've got this transient split that separates the transients from the tones. You've got a harmonic split that identifies a fundamental and lets you process the harmonics differently. You've got a loud split that kind of works like a spectral gate of sorts. These just open up a lot of possibilities that are a lot quicker to access than the equivalents of doing them in Ableton. So that's nice. The vocoder. Now I've always found vocoders, especially the Ableton one, basically because it's the only one I used before, somewhat arbitrary in where you put them on the track, which is the modulator, which is the carrier, and so on. The Bitwig vocoder kind of takes everything out of that. So you've just got a modulator chain, a carrier chain, and you can put whatever you want in there. You can put your synthesizer in the modulator, you can put in the carrier, you can put the vocoder on either track, you can process modulator and carrier, you can process the wet. This just feels like a very open-ended exploration of the simple principles of a vocoder, which is basically just a multi-band envelope follower. And because vocoders are so useful in sound design, I really appreciate this design that lets you do anything you want with it. Snapping and grids. Now you've got some nice features in Bitwig. One thing I was really looking forward to switching was just having quintuplet and septuplet grids. Ableton only allows for triplets, but you really get in Ableton like the spectral devices.
Oh, definitely, man. All right, yeah, sweet dreams, bro. I'm gonna finish this video because I still don't really understand what's going on, but yeah, dude. Nice chatting with you. Nice talking to you. Trying to say like 4 sentences that are all the same sentence at once, but yeah. Sweet dreams, brother. I appreciate you. And catch you later. Enjoy the Italy trip. See you next fall, bruh. See you next fall, bruh.
That split using an FFT. So you've got this transient split that separates the transients from the tones. You've got a harmonic split that identifies a fundamental and lets you process the harmonics differently. You've got a loud split that kind of works like a spectral gate of sorts. These just open up a lot of possibilities that are a lot quicker to access than the equivalents of doing them in Ableton. So that's nice. But just having some modeled presets after different kinds of corpuses, that Bitwig is the way repitching audio samples works. So basically in Bitwig there is no simple way to just repitch an audio sample and it gets faster or slower. You have to always warp it, and then you can change the timing, but you can't really go by pitch. This is a bit difficult to explain, but anyone that's used Ableton and Bitwig will have complained about this, and I really hope they add this in the future, because this is holding some people back by a lot. If you repitch audio files a lot and want the cleanest way, then
Ableton versus Bitwig, which one is better? Let's find out. Ableton Live is a versatile DAW celebrated for its fast, intuitive workflow and strong support for live performance. Its session view lets you launch clips instantly, and its arrangement view offers a traditional timeline for composing. Ableton also includes solid MIDI and audio tools, reliable automation editing, and the creative power of Max for Live. Many producers favor it for its speed, polished design, and expansive ecosystem. On the other hand, Bitwig Studio is a modern, modular DAW designed for deep experimentation and creative sound design. It shines with features like hybrid audio, MIDI tracks, a flexible modular system, and its standout grid environment for building custom instrument and effects. Bitwig is more stable under heavy plugin use. It isolates plugins in separate processes to prevent crashes and supports Linux in addition to macOS and Windows. Now, let's compare them side by side. While Ableton focuses on streamlined performance, fast clip-based production, and a polished user-friendly experience, Bitwig emphasizes customization, modular workflows, and stability, especially when handling experimental setups or complex routing. Ableton is about playability and speed, while Bitwig is about building your own sonic tools. If you prioritize live performance,
So it's more
speed,
about like the software design is more focused for that purpose. And then modular control. Yeah, that's like my main takeaway is like it's node based, which I assume means like you can where like in Ableton it's about a chain where you do like one effect, one effect, one effect, one effect, one effect. But then with nodes, you have all of these it's like multi-chains. It's like you have a freaking compressor. Oh, that's interesting too. Then you have like and then you can combine like either of these chains, multi-chains to instruments or like multiple instruments to one chain, as opposed to sending it all to a certain track. With that single linear chain, nodes are like, you can add the hybrid, or you can add a reverb to the compressor, however that fucking works. That's part of the main chain. I think this is how it's going, as opposed to putting it on a certain spot in the chain where it affects everything before it. You can make it so that effects are very like tuned specifically to how you want it without it without it being in a linear format. That's my main takeaway. That's my main assumption. That's my main assumption for that shiz. I should get Bitwig now. I'm also curious about Studio One. Because I feel weird, after claiming I feel weird after claiming that Reaper's probably the best. Being aware of these other options, but not really knowing too much about them. I feel weird claiming that after my post claim clarity. Studio One's better for recording and mixing. Which one was the one that was made by Ableton people? Oh, it is Bitwig. Okay, great. At least I'm not giving super fake news. Being created by former Ableton devs, it is known for its advanced flexible modulation. Yeah, and I'm like getting hella interested in instruments and sound banks recently, so I'm just trying to rationalize an adventure. Yes. I'm trying to rationalize making an adventure, but god damn it, I have so much that I need to do. So Studio One might be the one that I should look more into. It's like Studio One, and then Cubase, I guess. Cubase has been around forever though. I've always seen it as clunkier, but I don't really have a reason for that. I've never used Logic in my life. I've never used Pro Tools. Yeah, that's the industry standard. Scoring and soundtracking for TEEJYS. I forgot about Reason. Propellerhead Reason. Luna. Oh wow. Oh wait, never mind. Oh wait, what? Is this a Universal? Oh, it is Universal Audios. That's crazy. I didn't know they had their own swag. Interesting. Polytone analog synth. Browse your way. I love tags. I didn't realize Ableton had a pretty good tagging system until recently. I used to be so sad at it. But it just turns out that I don't know how to fucking use my own tools. Like right here, you can just add tags. I'm like, wait, oh shit. I was like, I want more colors, Ableton. Give me more colors. And then, yeah, I think I can just sort by my own tags. Contact, open tag editor, yeah. So that's a fake con that turned into a cool pro from my end. I don't even use a tag editor after finding it. I haven't even used it, really. But I also just kind of changed my approach to tagging to compensate for the 7 categories or so. Because I don't really need to tag that much. It's just like my fucking love for organization at that point. Because organizing is cool. I've always been like super messy, but until recently. And I don't like to call it OCD because I'm not trying to engineer a stigma around having a clean workspace and like an organized workflow. I feel like people look down on their organizational preferences unless it truly is OCD, you know. And then that makes sense. But like, just liking order is not a fucking disorder, dude. It's like the opposite, literally. Literally. AI tools, rip X doll. Alright, now I'm getting into territory that makes me want to barf. Alright, let's see. PreSonus Studio One. Yeah, I might have to freaking figure out what the heck is going on here. It's made by Fender. Oh, but it has Chad Smith. Oh man. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna take a step back now. Second I see Chad Smith, I'm gonna take a step back, bruh. Let's get back to my priorities, huh? Fucking Chad Smith has to ruin everything, dude. Fucking, I saw AI and Chad Smith in the same freaking 20-second interval. I'm good, bruh. Next. Fuck that, bruh. So yeah, after I do my shit today, let's play some video games. Alright, so what do I want to do? My choices are, and it might be this one. Go back to Through the Window, which is yesterday's work. Add more trombone to it. Or revisit, or like record a new song. I have 1 hour and 30 minutes to do whatever. Record a new song. And dude, you guys hear me earlier? I was hitting like a freaking high D sharp, bruh. I was hitting a high D sharp so easily. I was hitting a C so easily in my scales. I've quite literally evolved as a trombone player. It's insane. Like that shit feels normal to me at this point. It feels normal as any other like high note, like F or G at least. Maybe I want to work more on those. And expand and enhance and increase the familiarity that I own from that to that range. So yeah, maybe I want to work on some more high register shit. On that note, I'll do one more scale. I'll do what? Do like yeah, I'll do one more scale, then I'll do one of the songs that I've been doing, but mainly focus on the high register. Or I could just do the set. Why not do the set and then just only do high register? That might be the best move. So let's see. Let's do D flat. The shit's really low volume though. But yeah, I guess in conclusion, I am more interested in Bitwig. Oh, that's loud. Hello? I'm more interested in Bitwig than ever. And perhaps Sonus 1 or Studio 1. In conclusion, let's put a pin on it. Wait, what? Oh yeah, no, that was right. Oh yeah. Wow. Man, I'm nasty. Ah. Okay. Sweet. Dude, I feel fucking amazing right now. I feel fucking amazing right now. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm going to wash my mouthpiece. Because I already got some gunk built up. I mean, I could just wipe it on my shirt, but I could also just wash it under hot water. You know? Like a fucking gentle trombone player. I'm gonna take this so I can be reminded that no one cares about me via 0 notifications. Or even if they do care about me, I'll be like, I'd be like, like a tsundere, whatever they're called. So yeah, I'll be back. Maybe I can actually. Maybe we'll start with Through the Window when I come. Yeah, when I come back, we'll do Through the Window, and then I will feel great because every time I listen to it since then, I'm like, man, I wish I recorded more. This is so awesome. I wish I recorded more. So yeah, I'm gonna do that then. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there. Yeah, so in the meantime, I will just play this on loop until I come back. Capiche? Outside the window, how did you find me in my daydream? An empty space for me to stay and label all of the things that I've played. I'm conditioned to keep time, 'cause I've been I'd imagine you're queasy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. For now, let's sit in the comfort of all these fluttering I'd imagine you're queasy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. For now, let's sit in the comfort of all these fluttering buttons. I'd imagine you're queasy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. For now, let's sit in the comfort of all these fluttering butterflies. I'd imagine you're queasy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. For now, let's sit in the comfort. I mean, I guess I'll jam a little bit more. I'm definitely not gonna be using this take though. I'll probably try to re-record all of this another day. So it makes me question if I even want to do more trombone. So yeah, let's just fucking do it. Get it over with. try to record through the whole song here. Can't really hear myself. I might have to take this into sections for now, which is fine. It's not the official whatever. That's where I'll turns up that tall flight in hopes that eventually find someone. I like to visit the hemisphere and turns up that tall flight. I like to visit the hemisphere and turns up that tall flight. I like to visit the hemisphere and turns up that tall flight in hopes that eventually I I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of in hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. How do you feel in these sorts of? I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of in hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of in hopes that I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms in hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. How do you feel in these sorts of? I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of in hopes that eventually find I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of in hopes that eventually find someone like you. I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of in hopes that eventually find I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of hopes that eventually find someone like you. I'd imagine you're queasy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. For now, let's sit in the comfort of all these fluttering Damn, I can play high now. That's awesome. What the fuck? What the heck? I'd imagine you're queasy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. How do you feel in these sorts of I'd imagine you're crazy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. For now, let's sit in the comfort of all these Okay. Let's do it all again. I'm outside the window. How do you find me in my daydreams? An empty space for me to stay and label all of the things that I have played. I'm here I've been doing this for a while. Bring your mind and everything you need to let go. It's not always easy to leave Will you look in the trees? I'm not hiding, but that's where I'll be. My mind branches to the roots, so this spot is always comforting. Will you look in the trees? I'm not hiding, but that's where I'll be. My mind branches to the roots, so this spot is always comforting. 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 I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of mental flight, in hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side, in hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of mental flight, in hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. as the atmosphere turns up, that's all flying, in hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. How do you feel in these sorts of heights? I'd imagine you're queasy as it's your feel in these sorts of heights. I'd imagine crazy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go. It's all time. I'd imagine crazy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go. It's all time. I'd imagine crazy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you. I'd imagine crazy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go. It's all time. For now, let's sit in the comfort of all these flutteries. Lokria, what's good, baby? What's good, good sir? How have you been? Busy and tired? Right on. And how do you feel about that? It doesn't have to be good or bad, I guess. But yeah. I'm curious. Busy and tired. Kind of the same, you know. But I feel great. I don't mean to fucking have a good and a busy and tired fight with you, but yeah, I feel that on a personal level. I'm really happy right now because my fucking trombone range is, you know, all the hard work I've been putting in is showing right now, and I feel it. And I'm really excited because it means that I can create more art according to my vision, you know. That's what we want in life. More art that represents our vision. And I don't want to like fucking accommodate, you know. I don't want to accommodate with my lackluster abilities. I'd rather just try to own my vision as much as I can. yeah, I feel like a fucking real trombone player now. So right now I'm kind of just jamming, making some use of these lips before my noise curfew hits. Trying to see what it can do, per se. See what it can do. Let's see what it can do. Definitely worth it in a sort of way. Right on, brother. Is it your welding studying and work that's been keeping you busy, I guess, is one way to say it. Is like where you've been putting a good portion of energy in and like your focus is in your welding. Hell yeah. Yeah, I try to stay internally motivated, you know. I'd imagine you're crazy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. Yeah, normally I am not a huge fan of piecing shit like pieces together or whatever. This ain't the final product, and my lips have like such a fucking long lifespan before I gotta give them a break. So it's not like guitar where I can endlessly go for one takes, unfortunately, or right now, not now at least. Though I will say my fucking longevity, my lip strength, health, it's probably like quadrupled, bro. When I first started this campaign, I probably needed to take a break after 10 minutes straight, bro. But now I can do like an hour. It's insane. I can do an hour, and then that's at that hour point is like when I start to get tired. It's not even that I should take a break. It's just that I start to get like I can just feel the tiredness in my fucking lips. But yeah, it's freaking awesome, man. I'm so happy I've been putting the work in. Especially because, people have been visiting less and less as I do my fucking trombone journey. You know, but the entire time I'm like, well, you know, I'm not really doing it for them, I guess. Though it is nice to have company, but like, so yeah, I try to remind myself to stay rooted with my intentions and like keep it all focused inside, and then it's really been paying off, brother. It's really been paying off. It's like a constant feedback loop I have with myself. I just keep doing it for my own well-being, and then I'll keep understanding why I do it by the end of it, and I'll just reiterate that over and over. Yeah, I started training hard in the gym. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, and I started training hard in the gym. Hell yeah, brother. Up a lot of weight. Nice. So you gained weight is what you're saying? That's good. I've also gained like fucking 5 pounds. Thankfully, I haven't been working out. I've just been eating like crazy. But yeah, I was underweight for a bit there. I'm always like dancing between underweight and like it's always like within 10 pounds either direction. So I was towards the underweight part of that recently, and I'm happy to get it back up because I don't like being underweight. But yeah, ideally I'm like you, and I translate all of the extra of whatever you call them, like nutrients, into more productive organelle, more productive muscle tissue and shiz like that. So between school and lifestyle, just way busier. Fuck yeah, bro. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm one to talk, but yeah, I hope you don't burn yourself too much, bro. You know, you don't run yourself too hot. But I'm one to talk, man. So, you know, you do what you got to do, and I trust you and how you do it. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I remember you. You're my melodic. You're like my emotional musical counterpart. I appreciate that from you, man. Yeah, it's hella conceptual. I didn't really like value music theory or any of that jargon until the last couple of years, and I wrote this song in like 2014, 2015, bro. But I just didn't have, I wasn't as good at any of the instruments that I play back then, so I'm able to like revisit these ideas that were just way ahead of my time, and I can try to actualize them with the dignity that I've always wanted to give them. So yeah, it's interesting how like conceptual I really was before I like woke up in my own consciousness. I was like super all about concepts. Similar here, you went from underweight to feeling good and healthy. Fuck yeah, bro. That's what we love to hear, man. I'm happy for you. Keep it up, keep it up. Keep it up. I'm happy you can revisit me and give me good news like that. No pressure, if like anything happens, or like especially if anything out of your control happens, of course. Just as long as you're yourself, man, I'm happy you're here. If you're not yourself, then I'm gonna be less happy, but I'll still be happy you're here. Don't worry about that. I'll unlock a song on your channel. Nice, bro. Yeah, please. Song unlocked is called Hunting Hearted. Word. Okay, well, if it means anything, man, and it should mean something. I try not to give like real feedback, but I will listen to it. I try not to give like real fucking validation, purposefully. But I will listen to it. Yeah, when it comes to creative shit, unless I'm like a super fan, which I hardly am these days, I don't want people to look to me as a source of dopamine like that. I want people to find that in themselves. So I purposely, if I really like it or not, sometimes I don't do it, Sometimes I forget, because I'm like so excited. But I've been better at like withholding my own judgments. But yeah, I'm all ears, brother. You should know. I'm all ears, man. Oh no. No, I mean, like, yeah, I have zero interest, especially with like negative criticism or like technical criticism. Or I mean, more negative criticism. Like I can give like technical criticism, like or I can give like, oh, this is how I would do my mix, more so like technical stuff. But when it comes to like songwriting decisions or whatever, I try not to get into your lane, because I respect your artistic voice. And I might have opinions on it, And then if you really ask me, like, how do I feel listening to your song? I don't know, I was like, should I charge people for that? Because I don't think my opinion matters, I don't think people should ask me that. But, fucking, yeah, I guess I can stop blabbering. But yeah, I appreciate that from you. Your openness to receive all sorts of feedback. Yeah, my opinion doesn't mean shit, bro. I'd rather just rip that Band-Aid off now. Is it playing? Oh, okay, never mind. My freaking tab is muted. Alright, we'll start that over.
I'm on the hunt for this. Our life's a mystery, but I know it's been you and me for this. Since the day in the forest, Look what I found. Oh, I'm not sure, but I reckon I'd burn. I'd take my turn around. Love, I reckon I'd take my turn. Yours. I'm on the edge of this. Looks like it might be an awful long fall. I'm the right guy who could risk it all for this. I'm a man of the forest. I'm born to follow. I'm not sure, but I reckon I'd go. I'd take my turn around. Love, I reckon I'd take my turn. Yours. I'm inside of this. Our lives a fantasy that's all wrapped up in a tragedy's tempest. Storm in a forest. A lot to swallow. I don't know, but I reckon I'd burn. I'd take my turn around. Love, I reckon I'd take my turn. Yours.
Nice, bro. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that, bro. Thank you for sharing. It's very introspective. And, you know, like meditative-ish. Oh, yeah, I like that, bro. I mean, you know, I don't want to hear everyone's fucking art. You know, I'm here to do my thing, but for you, Lokria, yeah, I'm definitely happy to hear, you know, where you're coming from on the artistic world. But I don't want to invite everyone to just show me their art at all. I don't want everyone's art. I don't want that. I'm here to show my art. Here to build my art in front of people. You know, I'm not fucking. I'm not oriented like that. You know, I'm not oriented around other people's art. And I don't want to come across like I am. But yes, thank you for sharing. And I'm always happy to hear from you, Lokria. Yeah, I'm trying to have my boundaries, bro. I also don't listen to a bunch of music or see other art much. I want mine to stay unique and only influenced by me as well. Sure. Yeah, you know, people do whatever they want. I'm happy they're doing art in the first place. But yeah, I mean, like, I just don't have like the social butterfly in me anymore. You know, I'm kind of done I'm done asking or like looking around. Oh, it looks like my frames are dropping. Is my stream going okay? You know, I'm not in that phase in my life anymore. I'm not trying to be a social butterfly. But I am, you know, I'm always, or I'm like, I still am capable of being like fucking mind blown. And I'm still capable of, you know, listening to whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely at the freaking time in my journey where I've done enough seed collecting, you know. I've done enough gathering of of influences, and it's really more for me to solidify my own being as an artistic force. So yeah, like I like to do art jams, and that's like the time that I prefer to listen to anyone's art, you know, is with the art jams that I'm doing. That would be the time that I prefer to listen to art. Otherwise I'm like, you know, I'm not here to be your like fucking your best friend or anything, you know. I'm not here to be anyone's whatever you call it, like artistic mirror, you know. I'm not here to be anyone's mirror. It's a blur kind of, to be honest. And same here in the real world. I do gym, school, and privacy. Right on, brother. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely people do whatever they want to do. I will say that I admire those who fucking hone in on their own voice, for sure. Like yourself, you know, and their own, like, I admire those that seek inward more than I do people that seek outward. If, you know, I understand you get what I'm saying, but I'm like trying to figure out how to say it like succinctly, but maybe it doesn't even matter, you know, for like other people. Like you either get it or you don't, and it doesn't matter what I think anyways. Power to you, because your styling is well worth developing. You can hear what I'm shooting for. Dude, I can't even hear what I'm shooting for, bro. I can't even hear it, you know? But yeah, no, I'm happy that you appreciate what I have so far. But, you know, I've been doing music my whole life. I've always been growing in all my, like, whatever, my dimensions of music. And it wasn't even until I did that 11-hour stream for my song Summer that I made a couple of videos for. It wasn't until I did that and I listened to the final result, the product. If I were the CEO of McDonald's, the final product, right? Because that's what it is to me. It's a product, something that I produced. It wasn't until I listened to the final product the next day when I wasn't fucking so sleep deprived that I was like, what the heck? I was like, is this what I sound like? Because I don't even know what I sound like, bro. I don't know what I want to sound like. I don't know what I'm going for. More like, it's like what fucking Miles Davis says. It's like, it takes a long time for you to sound like yourself. And, you know, when I play, I'm not forcing anything. I'm really just like playing along the rules that the song, you know, like whatever key the song is in, plus like, and I'm trying to do it in a frictionless way where I don't have to think about the decisions that I'm going for. It's just like the voice that comes out, you know, and I either like it, so I keep it, or I don't like it, and I do something else. But usually it's not until after that I'm solidified, and that's like what I want, you know. Sometimes, like a lot of times I do come in with like on the spot thinking like, ooh, I want this part to sound like this. Ooh, I want this part to sound like this. But like the big picture, you know, like what I'm going for, I can't say that I ever have that in mind, bro. I can't say that I'm ever like certain about where I want to land. More, I'm just kind of like building the bridge as I go, and that applies to like everything for the most part. It applies to all my song, or like my instruments, all of the compositions. And a lot of it's dependent on where I am in my life too, you know, what comes out of me. But so more oftentimes I'm like disappointed, or I'm like feeling unfulfilled, right? About what I hear. A lot of the times I feel unfulfilled because it's more of a feeling that I'm going for, as opposed to a sound. Because I don't know what I want to sound like, but I know how I want to feel. I want to feel fulfilled, and I want to feel like excited and surprised about what I end up with. But yeah. So that song Summer was literally the first time in my whole life. I'm 30 years old now. I've been playing my whole life. That I felt like I got a taste of what I could sound like. You know, because I feel like I've just been like a prototype this whole time. Hence my freaking musical project name being Learning Stages. Because I never felt like I was done. And I never felt like I was on good grounds enough to claim a voice. But obviously, we all have a voice that is our own. But I'm just saying, like, my relationship to my voice is really young. Really young. Maybe standing on the outside gives you a good vantage for perspective, but you dig the quality and color of my sound. I appreciate that, man. I talk about that too and agree. Once the chords start to establish the song, or start to establish, the song seems to emerge from itself and suggest itself. So you can just ride the flow. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I have my guitar part and I have the lyrics written, but I didn't write any of the drums for any of the iterations of this song Through the Window at all, you know? And because I've always, anytime I've jammed with people, I've always wanted them to express themselves. I never wanted to tell anyone what to do creatively. Even if they'd ask me, you know, I'd be like, dude, I'm not working with you to tell you what to do. I'm here to fucking play with you, bro. And I want to hear your voice. Every band, you know? So this is the first time that I've like approached bass or anything outside of vocals, or, you know, trombone has never been in the song. Clarinet has never been in the song. Yeah, so really, yeah, I never felt the true being of my musical force because, well, one, I never challenged myself to iterate all the instruments, but I also just wouldn't be good enough to do it at any other time in my life. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. I talk about that too. Oh, yeah. It almost, yeah. Yeah. My idea is like, once I teach my body how to talk and how to walk, then I can finally connect that gap between my brain and my body. So there's no friction. There's no debate of what we want and what we can do, because at that point, when I train my body to do all the things that I want to do, or at least to be able to do all the things that are possible on each tool, at least to like what I'm interested in, because I don't want to be a fucking shredder necessarily on guitar. So I'm like not going to learn every single thing that that there is, but like there are things that I do want and there are things that I can't do. So yeah, I think you kind of get what I'm trying to say. It's like trying to remove that tension between what I actually can produce naturally and easily, and then catching my body up so I can just focus on what I feel as opposed to, you know, compromising with myself and settling for other decisions that weren't what I wanted initially, but it's all I can do. Abstraction, the song drives itself. I agree. Yeah, happy jamming. Appreciate you, Lokri. Yeah, definitely. Keep up the good work, man. I appreciate your visit. Thank you again for sharing your song, your tranquil, what do you call it? Meditative, beautiful voice. And yeah, thank you for letting me fucking think about this shit too. Looking forward to seeing you. Looking forward to hearing, hopefully, some good news from you next time around. Yeah, cheers, bro. And I've got 15-ish minutes to keep playing. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that then. But yeah, bless you, brother. I play, then I eat, and then I'll come back and play video games. Yeah, it's a privileged philosophy, bro. Multi-dimensionally, so I don't want to waste it, you know. I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate your good vibes, no doubt. Thank you, man. Yeah, you too, sir, big brother. Much love, much love. And is this desktop in front of me? What the? not. Never mind. We're chilling. Yeah, so whatever. On to the next one. Unison line with everything. I'm here when I'm outside the window. How do you find me in my daydreams? In an empty space for me to stay. Label all of the things that I have played. I'd imagine. I'd imagine you're crazy 'cause it's your friend. Oops. I'd imagine you're crazy 'cause it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can. I'd imagine you're crazy 'cause it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go its own time. I'd imagine you're I'd imagine you're crazy 'cause it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go its own time. Let's sit in the comfort of all these fluttering Next. Next. I'm outside the window. I'm outside the window. How will you find me in my daydreams? In an empty space for me to I'm outside. Not about it, not about it, about it. Dabba dabba doo. Dabba dabba doo, dabba dabba doo. That's fucking when Frank, what was his name? Fred Flintstone. Was not too ashamed of it. He was like dabba dabba doo, dabba dabba doo. Dabba dabba doo, but dabba dabba doo. Will you hiding, but that's where I'll be. I'll let you know too sharp for that. Will you look in the trees? I'm not hiding, but that's where I'll be. Where's my tune? My mind branches. Will you look in the trees? I'm not hiding, but that's where I'll be. My mind branches to hiding, but that's where I'll be. My mind branches to roots, so this body's alright. Will you look in the trees? I'm not hiding, but that's where I'll be. My mind branches to roots, so this body's always comforting. I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of in hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. How do you feel? Any source of light? I'd imagine crazy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go. So just hold my hand so you can let it go. Hooray! Great. Amazing. 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 Truly amazing, guys. Truly. How does that sound? And then I'm gonna eat. And then we're gonna get a rank up or two in Marvel Rivals. Because all we know is winning, am I right? All we know is winning. Even a defeat is a win around here. As long as there is effort. That's a dub. That's an easy dub. to visit the hemisphere in terms of that's all right. In hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. How do you feel in these sorts of heights? I'd imagine queasy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. I sit in the comfort of all these fluttering in the trees. I'm not hiding, but that's where I'll be. My mind branches to the roots, so this spot is always comforting. I like to visit the hemisphere in terms of that's all right. In hopes that eventually find someone like you by my side. How do you feel in these sorts of heights? I'd imagine queasy as it's your first time. So just hold my hand so you can let it go sometime. I sit in the comfort of all these fluttering I'm here, but I'm outside the window. How do you find me in my daydreams? An empty space for me to stay and label all of the things that I have